Blog Talk Radio. Hi everyone, this is Camille from sunny California, and you're listening to the Coffee Chat with Camille show, which is the podcast series that interviews various guests about real-life topics for people who love to learn.
Hello?
Okay, hi everybody. Looks like something's going on with my audio. One moment. What is a Spendthrift Trust with Sally Gimons is the name of our show today. Sally was motivated to become a real estate investor when her mom became sick in October of 2018. Sally was 53 and needed to make a change in her life quickly. She's been an insurance agent for 20 years and has used her experience to make positive changes. Now she shares her information weekly in her real estate group and Win-Win Women TV. In July 2020, she bought a bank-owned property for $20,000 that would go to auction for $50,000 when COVID restrictions lifted. She knew her capital gains would be $7,140 and researched how the rich paid so little in taxes. This led her to find the Business and Beneficial Spendthrift Trust. Currently, capital gains are 23.8% on any profit. There is passed legislation to raise this to 40% for some tax levels. The IRS is hiring 87,000 new agents. The Spendthrift Trust defers capital gains, interest income, dividend income, rental income, and royalties year after year legally. The trust keeps people's judgment proof and their information private. For the audience from our guest Sally, you can visit, and to probably find out more information about the Spendthrift Trust, please go to thetrustisisyou.com. All right, and there you can just make an appointment or schedule your appointment, okay? Oh, there's another email, info@thetrustisisyou.com. All right, now we can let Sally into the studio. One moment. Hello, Sally?
Hi, Camille. How are you?
Hi, wonderful. So sorry about that. I had a little audio going on there, being weird. But at any rate,
that's okay.
It's a pleasure to have you here.
I was trying to find the link, so I'm glad I found the phone number instead. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. No worries. All right. I'm so pleased to have you here, and I'd love to get started with the interview because this is really some great information that you're sharing with the audience. Why a Spendthrift Trust?
Great question. Most people have never heard about this. People like Rockefellers, U.S. presidents, the DuPonts, and other families know about the special Spendthrift Trust. It comes from England way back when King Henry VIII started the Church of England. He got in trouble for chopping off his wives' heads. So he started a new church and went to go tax the lords and ladies of England to pay for his church. The lords and ladies went even further back into history to the Magna Carta and said, you can't do this. So this is contract law that comes from England. The law firm I work on behalf of has a trust that is going to turn 350 years old in 2023. So this is while we were still a colony that this was happening. Most people do not realize the tax code that the IRS tax code only went into existence in 1913, and all the rich families, the Firestones, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, they purposely put this into the tax code at 643B, like Bravo, So it's way up high in the tax code. So only trust attorneys know about this. 97% of the trusts that are sold every year in the United States are called a family trust that just avoids going through probate. My mom and dad had this. This is what Susie Orman talks about on PBS television. What happens there is the trust dissolves and after the person has passed away. This trust, like the Rockefeller's office, goes from generation to generation. The Rockefeller's trust is 7 generations old and has 400 people under the same EIN, employee identification number, but each person has their own bank account. They're not commingling money or anything else. And, I researched this because a gentleman in my real estate group, Garrett Gunderson, wrote a book called What the Rockefellers Do, that tells you about the Rockefeller's office. He changed the title. It's now called What the Billionaires Do, but it's I used that book to start researching it. And on that one house you were talking about, the house I bought for $20,000, when it finally went to auction, I made $44,000 on the house. I saved $10,550 on that one real estate transaction. So I started my own company. I'm licensed to sell this trust through a law firm. I started my own company March of 2020, and I'm helping business people save 1099 income, and investors save other taxes, because people should know about this, because rich people know about it. It should be available to everybody. It's not taught in schools.
Okay, excellent. And then Susie Orman sells a trust on PBS. How is this different?
The trust she sells is just to avoid going through probate, which, is not a bad thing. My parents did the same thing. But my brothers, I have 2 brothers and myself, when we sold my parents' house, none of us were on the title, and we had to pay capital gains on that house. With the Spendthrift Trust, it's going to avoid going through probate. It's going to avoid inheritance taxes, and it's going to save federal taxes, keep your information private. Your LLC does not do that, and will keep you from paying any judgments if you get sued. To give you a bad example, but if people want to understand this, do you remember O.J. Simpson was acquitted for killing his wife, Ron Goldman, about 30 years ago?
Yes.
What happened there was the Goldman family sued O.J. Simpson. O.J. Simpson has this trust. All his football memorabilia, all his real estate, everything's in the trust. The only thing that the Goldmans, they could sue O.J. the person, but they can't sue O.J.'s trust. So O.J.'s worth nothing, but he's playing golf 3-4 times a week, enjoying his retirement and living well. And he has this trust.
Excellent. Thank you for. Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me, Sally. The sound is going in and out. I'm not
I have
sure
to apologize.
Why. Okay, it's okay.
I live in a knoll, and it's raining here, so it might be my phone. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'm going to go higher. I'm going to go upstairs to the next level. Let me see if that'll work.
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
Oh, sure. You're hearing me go over wooden floors. Is this better?
Yes. I don't know. It was kind of going in and out. You were talking about O.J. Simpson and how he was able to protect his money through this particular trust. Excuse me. And then I couldn't hear much after. So could you just please repeat?
Sure. My goal in my real estate group, the average person nationwide joining is a 56-year-old gentleman trying to make money for retirement. I want to teach them how to save federal taxes just like the rich do. I get to save federal taxes. My goal is to teach as many other people to do this legally too.
Okay, excellent. And then has this trust been audited?
Here's the key. It's legal. As soon as an auditor an IRS agent sees the full name is irrevocable, complex, discretionary, non-grantor, Spendthrift Trust. As soon as they see what it is, they won't go any further.
Okay, excellent. And then how old is this trust?
The trust is, if I give you the wrong date, don't sue me. I want to say it started in 1553, but here in the United States, there's case law over almost 350 years old. It's been in front of the U.S. Supreme Court twice. Mm-hmm. A legal textbook that trust attorneys, only 3% of all attorneys in the United States are trust attorneys, but a legal book that they study in law school is called Scott and Asher on Trusts, 5th edition, and it has a whole chapter dedicated to the Spendthrift Trust. I have articles from Forbes magazine to show people because so few people have heard of it, and they want to save as much money as possible. CPAs have never heard of this because most CPAs only work in the 300, 400 tax code because that's where 97% of Americans file their taxes. When you have this trust, you're going to file a 1041 tax return. 97% of all Americans file a 1040 tax return. So that's a major difference between what Susie Orman sells on PBS to what this Spendthrift Trust is, if that makes sense.
Okay, yes, it does. And then, now what are the capital gains?
Correct. Unfortunately, my note I sent you was incorrect. A year or less, capital gains are charged between 10% to 37%, depending on your tax bracket. When I was a real estate investor, my tax bracket, I am a real estate investor, but before I had the trust, my tax bracket was 24%. So all the numbers you were reading were how much I would pay in taxes at 24%. I currently have notes where I am the paper on the house, people pay me the mortgage. That's interest income. If you're a passive investor, if you're doing the BRRRR strategy, buy, rehab, resell, redo, if you're doing Forex investing, that's interest income. If you're a Forex investor, I have quite a few Forex investors who have this trust, they get taxed twice, interest income and capital gains. So many Forex investors who make good money want to have this trust.
Excellent. And then the difference between a beneficial trust and a business trust. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, deference. I apologize. Wrong word.
Nope, that's correct. Yeah. You're asking the right question.
Okay.
The business trust is for 1099 income earners. So to give you an idea, I just did this quote for somebody yesterday. She's a real estate agent here in North Carolina. So this is using real data. She files single. She's divorced, federal taxes. Last year, she made about $84,000. She's at 22% return that she has to do. With the business trust, she's going to save almost $9,700 on her federal taxes. Her federal taxes are a little bit over $13,000, so she's going to save more than 70% at least on her federal taxes. To give you another idea, another gentleman who's here in the Charlotte area he has 2 pizzerias. So how much money he's making in 2 pizzerias by year? He started the trust this year. He has to pay for the trust, so he's not going to make that much money, save that much money. But by year 2025, he's going to open a 3rd location. And year 2026, he plans to open up a 4th location, pizzeria, to make more money, to make money coming through. And if you live in a high tax place like New York, Illinois, or California, the Spendthrift Trust, you're going to only be filing your federal taxes. I did not file North Carolina state taxes because I do everything through my trust. And so you can avoid paying state taxes. One of my clients, he's an affiliate marketer living just outside Birmingham, New York. his New York State taxes, just to give you an idea, is 10.3% on his salary. He's going to save that in 2023. So besides just federal taxes, also state taxes for people in high state tax areas.
Okay. And then why the Circle of Wealth in 5 simple steps for just $10?
Mm-hmm. I just relaunched that. Thank you for asking. This is going to go through my, it's a charitable trust. There's different trusts. Can you hear me? I'm here. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Let me see.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Camille, I'm here. Camille, can you hear me? Camille, can you hear me?
Sally?
Camille, can you hear me?
I think the call might have.
I'm sorry? What did you say?
Dropped. Let's see here.
Can you hear me? I'm going to hang.
Put it on hold. Yeah, we still have some time to continue.
Can you hear me?
Answering questions, as this is so interesting. Yes, hold on, audience. Okay. I think just a call drop, that's all. Hi, Sally.
I'm sorry, I could hear you, but you could not hear me. I'm so sorry, so I just called back. I'm so sorry.
Hello?
Can you hear me? Camille, can you hear me?
Not sure what happened. Let's see here.
Can you hear me?
It's like there's no sound again. All right, let me put her in the studio for one moment. Yeah, because I'm not really sure what's happening. But let me do this and see. See if we can continue our magnificent show on the Spendthrift Trust with Sally Gimon. So let me see here if I can. I don't know what happened to our call, but sometimes it's just technical things. Okay, let's see. Okay, let me see.
I'm back. Can you hear me?
Hello? Hi, Sally.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
This is so weird.
I'm here. I can hear you.
1 second.
I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
I'm
you.
here.
Okay. Wonderful.
Okay. I'm so sorry about that. I'm not sure what had happened there. I'm sorry.
I didn't either. That's okay. It's okay. The next question is why is the Circle of Wealth in 5 simple steps just for $10?
Correct. I appreciate you asking that. It is back in November of 2021, Bankrate.com had an article that said 80% of Americans, so someone you know, Camille, maybe it might be a cousin, maybe it's a best friend, maybe it's a parent, 80% of Americans have $90,000 in debt and are not saving 10% for retirement. Those are some very ugly numbers. So my goal is to help as many people as possible. I was a Medicare broker for 22 months before I became a full-time real estate investor. People turning 65 years old are broke and they're just going to live off Social Security. So most people have never heard of gift giving, but it is in the IRS tax code, tax tip 2001-31. If you Google Dolly Parton and the Christmas fires of 2016, there were bad forest fires in Tennessee. That's where Dolly Parton's from. Everyone who lost their homes there, she was gifting them $15,000 in 2016 because they don't have to report it on their federal taxes. Oh. With the gift giving, the Circle of Wealth, it's a gift giving tree of one time $10. You gift somebody $10. You find three people who will you bring in. First person gifts you $10. You're now at even Steven. You gifted someone $10. You got $10 back. Recruit number 2 and recruit number 3, $10 and $10 puts you up to the second level of the first board. I'll be honest, it's a pyramid. Everybody in the gift giving tree has done the exact same thing. So we're all gifting each other people. And when you finish the first board, you will have in your pocket or in your bank account $7,500 tax-free. That could pay down debt. That could maybe put a down payment on a new car, maybe take your family on a vacation, and it's an endless loop. You just keep going over and over again. Only thing you had to start with was one $10 gift and 3 recruits, and you're done, and you'll be making money doing that. I'm getting my nonprofit status with this, and the reason behind that is because one of the trusts I have, it's a charitable trust. Google has grants. This is an amazing thing. Google gives people free money for charitable trusts, free advertisings on Google, $10,000 a month. So this is what I'm going to launch to start helping anybody. That $90,000 in debt, that could be a mortgage, that could be car payments, that could be credit cards, could be student loans, it could be medical payments. People are drowning in debt, unfortunately, in the United States, and this is a way to help them see a light at the end of the tunnel.
Okay, that's excellent. Who can use the Circle of Wealth?
The first 3 steps. The first step is 2 questions. The second step is a gift giving. The third step is 3 affiliate marketing companies. If you want to do them, great. If you don't, no problem. That can be done with anybody in the world. So one of my friends who I brought into the gift giving, she lives in India. She used Cash App to do this. So she paid 149 rupees, turned it into American dollars. She's now on the gift giving board, and she has people, right now she's on the third level where people are paying her $40 each time. And she's brought in her 3 recruits, 2 are from India, and 1's from the United States. I have people from Mexico, Canada, UK, and Ireland all on the gift giving. The tax ramifications in other countries I can't tell you about. They understand that. But for Americans, this is a tax-free gift giving that we're dealing with. Other countries, they have to deal with their own taxes. I'm not licensed or CPA in other countries, so I can't tell them that.
Okay, thank you. And why did you start investing?
I started investing when you read my article, the bio. When my mom got sick, they were driving from Goodyear, Arizona, which is 20 miles west of Phoenix, to Charlotte. They were coming for my oldest nephew's wedding. My mom got septic of the blood. It was the first time I ever heard a ventilator. Back in 2018, she was on a ventilator for 13 months and in the hospital 15 months. Both my mom and dad stayed in North Carolina for 9 months while she was getting better before they could bring her back to Phoenix. I was going out to their house 3 days a week. The first week of December, there was a 27-page statement from Medicare. It was folded in half, but 27 pages thick, about 2 inches thick, When you open it up in big, bold black letters, the first month for my mom to be in the hospital was $172,000. It shocked me. My dad was retired military. They had TRICARE for life, but I'm standing in her kitchen, and at that time, I still had student loans. I went to undergraduate and graduate school. I had a mortgage. I had credit card debt. I had a brand new car, 3-week-old brand new car. I was driving down Indian School Road, major east-west road in Phoenix, second car through a green light. Somebody who was drunk and high ran the red light, T-boned me on the passenger side, had no insurance. So I had 2 car payments with only 1 car because I needed to get back and forth to work. So when I started real estate investing and gift giving, I personally was in $184,000 in debt. With the 5 steps, 5 simple steps, I've used all 5 steps. I've paid down my debt. I have money secured for my financial freedom, and I want to teach others how they can do it themselves because it's so important. When you don't have debt, you have options, and when you have debt, there's so much despair. More divorces happen because of debt. Bad health happens because of debt. If you can start chipping away at your debt, it's a beautiful thing. I don't know if you know this, Camille, but if you still have student loans when you get onto Social Security, they will garnish your paycheck to pay your student loans. I have people, I was talking to people 2 or 3 times a week who had that scenario. They had taken money out to go to school 20 years before, 30 years before, and never paid it back, and they garnish your Social Security. That shouldn't happen here in the United States.
No, it shouldn't. And so for the last question, why do you want to help?
Personally, I have been very blessed with good friends and family. If I have learned how to pay off $184,000 in debt, and if I can help one other person, if one person is listening to your show, Camille, can start paying down debt and get out of debt, my mission has been accomplished. I want to pay it forward because people have helped me. True story. Back in April 2020, I had 6 notes where I'm the paper. The people are paying me their mortgage. In April 2020, all 6 people stopped paying their mortgage, and all of a sudden I didn't have income coming in. My friend Veronica Grant, who taught me about gift giving, if she didn't do that, I would have been in a lot of hurt. So this is why I'm on your show, Camille, because I wanted to teach others how I was taught to do this. Because there's somebody out there this might help them.
Absolutely. Thank you so very much for being here and for spreading this all your knowledge, expertise. I definitely learned a lot. So as always, whatever I learn, I love to share it with my audience so they too can learn. And finances and economics are very important to get through life, period, especially now.
Exactly.
So thank you thank you so much, Sally, for being here. It's been such a pleasure. And, I'm sorry, would you like to please leave your social media handles for the audience to contact you?
I would love it. My only problem right now, I'm in the process of verifying myself at LinkedIn, so it's kind of crazy. But my first name and my last name are very unusual. So Sally Gimon, you can find me on Instagram. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on TikTok. My handle is Spendthrift Trust. I get more clients from TikTok than any place else. It's amazing. But hopefully I'll be back on LinkedIn sometime soon because I was doing lives on TikTok and trying to help people there. I don't know what happened. Last Friday I was on LinkedIn and all of a sudden a message came up saying someone tried hacking you. We have to verify you. And it's been 10 days and I feel lost without being on LinkedIn right now.
Yeah, I bet. And, sorry to hear that. I hope they hurry up and get that taken care of for you so you can continue to help others. Yeah. And and then what is your favorite coffee and or hot beverage?
Do not like coffee.
Okay.
When I was in high school and college, I worked at Bob's Big Boy. Don't laugh, but my job was to clean out the coffee urns. Still, coffee smells so bad. My favorite beverage, and everyone knows this, is hot chocolate with whipped cream on top. Ooh, that just
Yummy.
I love that.
Thank you so much, Sally. I appreciate you. I appreciate all you're doing. Just absolutely wonderful information. And so for now, I'm going to say goodbye and thank you again.
Thank you, Camille. I'm sorry for the phone trouble, but I appreciate you having me on your show.
Oh, you're welcome. It's no problem. I appreciate you being here. It's been a delight. Bye for now.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Hi. That was wonderful, Sally Gimons. And actually, I'm going to sign up myself for her informational about these trusts, because that's so important, how to build money, and then also just how to really, when we don't, okay, I can speak for myself. Like, I'm so with money, but not that great. And I've always had a husband who's there doing all the finances. And so I really need to work on all that. Just me personally, but for all of you who are out here and very economic and financially savvy, it's wonderful when you can spread the word as to how those of us who aren't so much so can receive help and get things in order. Some people say stacking the Benjamins, but just getting your money in order so that you're able to also pass something on to your loved ones, like your children, for example. So, this has been an incredibly magnificent interview. I extended the time because we had a little disconnect go on there. And so I'll try to make sure I edit that out before I air this wonderful, magnificent episode with Sally Gimons. And she's been on a lot. I saw her. She's been on a lot of different podcasts. And I believe she's also on YouTube. So please check her out. She's magnificent. And I just felt so honored to have her on the show to share with you, the magnificent audience, this great information about the Spendthrift Trust. Okay? So even if you can't retain all this here, just do your own research about it, and or more importantly, or for guidance, the person who's given us this information, go to thetrustisyou.com. Okay, and then she's also Sally Gimons. She's also on TikTok, as she mentioned. Okay, all right. So it's been a pleasure, everybody, and we got through this episode, huh? I have another one coming up shortly, actually. So I'm going to get ready for that. Bye for now, everyone. Thank you, Sally, so much. You're amazing. Bye, everybody.